What up, fellow agents? PurePrime here. Today I'm gonna show you where to find all the exotic gear in the game. Yes, all the exotic gear. Are you ready? Let's go! What up, guys? Welcome to another Division 2 video. Thank you for clicking my content, really appreciate it. And today we're gonna talk about the exotic gear and where to find them or how to unlock them. And we're gonna talk about every exotic gear piece, guys. So if you're still looking for some exotic gear, stay here. Of course, I have the timestamps below. Only thing you have to do is go to the descriptions. You will see a timestamp of every exotic and I will talk you through this. So let's start with the year 1 exotics, or the year 1 exotic gear pieces. We got 3 gear pieces that we can obtain. It's the BTSU Gloves, the Sawyer's Kneepads and the Dodge City Gunslinger holster. And these are pretty much easily obtainable by going into the open world and going for their targeted loot. So BTSU Gloves for the gloves, then of course, then the Dodge City holster, the holster, and then of course we got the Sawyer's Kneepads and then go for Kneepads. And yeah, guys, that's the best way to find them. Just go for the open world. If you want to double your chances, you can go, for example, for the BTSU Gloves in Camp White Oak. That's the original mission that they will drop. And then go for gloves as a targeted loot system then, of course, or the targeted loot. And then play it on challenging, and that's in my opinion the best way to farm them, if you can get, of course, that gloves up onto Camp White Oak. I don't particularly like Camp White Oak, so I just farm them in the open world. It's pretty easy as well. And just like the Dodge City Gunslinger holster, you can get that from Anaya, so buy exotic blueprint of sorts, buy from her, and you start the exotic sequence. Then you need to take over a few CP4s and then they have a chance to drop a piece so you can craft the Dodge City Gunslinger holster. But my recommendation is just go for the open world, guys. It's way easier. And just like the Sawyer's Kneepads, you can get them to drop from hyena bosses, but now they will drop in the open world as well. Just go for the targeted loot system. And then with year 2 and Warlords of New York, they added 5 new exotic gear pieces. The Acosta go bag, the Tardigrate armor system, the Imperial Dynasty holster, the NinjaBike messenger knee pads and the Coyote's mask. And these you cannot get from targeted loot. You can get them from targeted loot, but not open world. They will not drop in the open world, guys. They are all behind or missions or faction caches or even a dark zone drop. So for example, you cannot get the Imperial Dynasty holster from an open world drop. No, you can only get them from an in-mission boss. But let's start with the first one, the Acosta go bag. And it's a pretty easy one. The only thing you have to do is just open up faction caches. It doesn't really matter what faction it is. Just walk around, open up some faction caches, and mostly for me it opens up, or I get it from 6-7 caches after opening 6-7 caches. So it's pretty easy, but this is one of the exotics that drops a lot for me. So maybe you have a little harder time to get this, but guys, just open up the caches and you will get one eventually. And then for a little bit harder to get exotic is the Tardigrate armor system vest. And this one is obtainable by through Sun's bosses and then only in mission. So my recommendation is play it on Lincoln Memorial. You will get 4 or 5 named bosses, depends on the difficulty you play on, but my recommendation is go for challenging again. And then of course, if you can get that vest as a targeted loot over there, go for it. burn that mission to the ground. But yeah guys, it's all RNG of course, and it took me a while to get this. That's why I'm getting this video so late out there. Just like the Dynasty holster, I got a lot of problems getting it to drop. So let's talk about that Imperial Dynasty holster, the much OP holster in the game. It's almost a fan favorite, probably with the Coyote's mask at the moment. But this holster you can only get within New York City missions. And only the missions from the cleaners. So it can drop from Kajika and it can drop from Vivian Connolly. So these bosses both have a chance to drop the Imperial Dynasty holster for you. And again, go for of course the targeted loot as a holster. And play it on challenging guys, just play it on challenging, do not play it on heroic. Of course you're getting a little bit higher drop chance from heroic, but I will come to that in a bit why you should play it on challenging. And then for the only Dark Zone exotic piece, of course the NinjaBike Messenger Kneepads. And these only drop from Dark Zone drops. So my recommendation is go with a group in the Dark Zone, just farm your landmarks until the Dark Zone drop comes down, take it over as fast as you can, and hopefully they will drop the knee pads for you. But guys, make sure to extract them because they will be contaminated. And then for the last exotic gear piece guys, the Coyote's mask, one of the fan favorites with the Imperial Dynasty, and this we could get for free as a level 35 reach in the season. But now we can get it from, you guessed it, Coyote herself. So again, my recommendation is play Jefferson Trade Center on challenging, and if you can, get the targeted loot there for masks and then just burn through that mission. It will drop eventually. And guys, you probably heard me say play it on challenging and challenging and challenging and challenging. Why not heroic? And that's because with heroic you will get a chance to get every exotic. So if you play a mission on heroic, you will have a chance to get every exotic because you are playing it on heroic. Of course you have a little bit more chance to get another exotic, what you're farming for of course. But if you're playing it on challenging, the only exotic that will be in the loot pool is the one that you are grinding for, or of course the one from the targeted loot system. If you play it on heroic, you can get all the exotics, of course. All the exotics that are open, the year 1 exotic, that also drop in the open world. So in my opinion guys, always go for challenging on missions if you go for a targeted exotic. Of course if you're playing normal missions and you just want the best XP and have a chance to get an exotic to drop, it doesn't matter what kind, then just play it on heroic. You will get a lot more XP, and yeah, you get a little bit more chance to get an exotic to drop. But yeah guys, that's it for today. Those were all the exotic gear pieces that we can find in Division 2 at the moment. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribers button. And of course the notification bell. PurePrime out!